Hey Nick, how are you?
Doing okay. Parents are on me to get a job, so I'm trying, 19, you know, so,
Probably hard having those pressures of your parents on your back trying to get you to do something and you are. I want to say you've taken the first step already and have met with me and you should be proud of that. I appreciate you meeting with me again. Again, is it okay if I record our session today?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay. How are your meetings with your mental health team? Have you been staying with that? Keeping up?
Uh, yeah, for the most part, uh, not big on it, but I mean, I know I need help, so, but I just prefer not to, but just want to maybe get a job so I have some money and stuff and get my parents off my back. So
Mhm. Totally understand that. Feeling that sense of independence and having that income too will also give you that kind of motivation to, rewarding, obviously. And you'll be feeling proud of yourself for something that you accomplished and like determining what kind of job you want to do and earning that kind of income. I wanted to ask you, were you able to take that career scope that we talked about earlier?
yeah, so a little confused by it, but
Okay.
maybe you can help explain it to me. I think I sent the results back to you.
You did. You did.
Okay.
And I appreciate it. I didn't know if you had any questions about it or if you wanted to share your experience about it, or we can just dive right into it. It's really up to you.
Okay. Um, yeah, that's fine. We can dive into it. I just want to make sure, like I'm not getting some job that like I'm making minimum wage or something like that. If I'm gonna get out of my parents' house is one of my goals. I know I'm gonna have to make, a decent amount of money. So, but I also want to have money to buy like my video games and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, I mean, that's important. Can I ask you what kind of wages are you wanting to earn?
well, I know people at Starbucks make $15 an hour. So maybe something around like that.
Okay. Yeah, depending on where you live, sometimes like in the city, the minimum wages are higher, around 15. Kind of the rural areas are more like the minimum wage of 13. Um, but there's other jobs of entry level where you haven't had much work experience, such as yourself, where you can maybe make 18, depending like on I know some warehouse jobs that are hiring where you could be making $18 an hour. So it really kind of just depends on the location of jobs, but also what type of jobs they are. And the good thing is that they're entry level. So, you know, chances are you might be able to start in there because they're taking people with minimal experience and kind of teaching you the job. So our goal today is kind of looking at jobs that you like and that kind of align with your aptitudes and strengths. And I kind of pulled up that career scope and it does show that warehouse is one of those jobs that kind of meets your interests and your skill set. Um, and I did pull up the labor market here on ONET, and it does show that they are hiring in the area that you live. And I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about maybe a warehouse job?
As long as it's not like really loud in there, like with a bunch of machines. Maybe if it was more like just like, like maybe just like packaging stuff, something that's pretty simple that I know that I will be able to do instead
Mm-hmm.
of, something that's complicated. Because if it's complicated, it's going to send me to places I don't want to go, So, and then if somebody comes up to me and tells me I'm doing it wrong, then I'm probably going to tell them off. So,
Gotcha. I appreciate you sharing that. Um, that's some good insight, like you said before. And it's good that you kind of recognize, because some of those warehouses can be super loud, and we don't want to put you in a sensory overload type of situation where you're feeling too overwhelmed, like you said, where you might kind of go off. We want to ensure that you are happy in your job and that you're successful in your job. So, and then it also depends on the employer, like at the warehouse. If we find a job that's a packaging job, you might be able to wear like a noise canceling. Technically, they like to have the one side just because of safety issues. But that might be something that you might benefit from, to have that canceling sound if the warehouse is maybe too loud for you. Another job that the ONET and the Career Scope kind of align with was working like a janitorial or custodial position. And that job, is more independent work, which you kind of say that you are better for. You're not dealing with the customers and trying to deal with problem solving and people down your back.
okay.
What do you think about that?
As long as I don't have to clean a bunch of toilets, I'm okay.
I'm glad you said that, because sometimes like somebody will jump on that and say, I can do that. And my follow-up question is, do you like to clean your bathroom at home? And would you like to feel like cleaning a stranger's bathroom? No? Okay.
If
Okay,
it's
that's
like offices, I'd be fine with it,
yeah. Yeah. I mean, there are jobs out there that are office, so it's kind of like light cleaning. And they don't have to clean the bathrooms, and they walk around and empty the trash and wipe down tables and do some sweeping. So there are jobs out there that don't have to do that as well, so we could put that down as a job goal too.
All right, that sounds cool.
Okay, good. What are there any other type of job goals that you kind of looked at the Career Scope and were interested about and you want to talk about?
Um, uh, you know what else would be kind of cool?
Hmm.
Is maybe like, have you ever been to the movies and the people that do like the start the movies?
Like, is it someone that is actually up there starting the movie, or is it someone
Yeah, yeah,
down
yeah,
like?
yeah.
No,
Like actually starting the movie.
that's actually really cool. You know what? I can look into that, or we can look into it together. I've never actually met somebody that's done that, but I think that's a really creative thought. And I actually used to work in a movie theater, and I was an usher when I was around your age, and it was really fun.
Okay,
But I never thought about that job before.
okay, that would be fun.
Okay. Well, I can do some research on my end, and maybe I'll send you a couple links of how you can go about looking up that type of job as well. And maybe at our next session, we can kind of talk about that new job goal.
Okay.
All right. Well, the other thing I did want to send your way, since we are talking about jobs and potentially you needing, some supports with a resume, and maybe learning how to do a mock interview to kind of get you less anxious about that when we talk about applying for jobs. How would you feel about having like a job coach support you in that?
Yeah, if it'd help me get the job, but um, uh, it'd help me probably later on. But some of these people, know that I'm not that old, so they might hire me just because of my age, because it's not like that complicated. So, but I'll try it, see.
Yeah, and you know what? That's something that we can even talk about more in depth next time, and I can explain more what a job coach role is and what they can do to help you. And some people like having a job coach just to help with some of that resume development and getting comfortable learning how to answer questions, but don't like a job coach to kind of focus at the work. So they're more in the background, kind of calling and checking up on you to see how you're doing on the job. Some other people like to have job coaches on the job to help them learn it as well. So we can talk about that more at our next session and talk about that job that you talked about at the movie theater.
Okay.
Well, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. It was really good seeing you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.